Hi, I'm Sandra from ZNet Uralla. Today we're going to talk to one of our local real estate agents, and we're also going to talk to a resident who rents their home. This is to give people who rent their home some ideas for how they can take action themselves to make their homes more comfortable in our cold winters, but also how to cope with some of those hot days we've been having over summer.
The feedback that I am getting from tenants is that a lot of them, there is extreme heat and there is extreme cold. Lack of insulation. There's a lot of buildings that were built the wrong way. One take-home message for tenants would be, in regard to the properties that they're currently living in, to maybe talk to ZNet Uralla. They may be able to help you find a solution for whatever issues you may have in your home, keeping warm, ways to save on your energy.
Even though the house you're living in may not be perfect, renters can take some really innovative steps to make their homes more comfortable, both in the winter and the summer, and also save on some power bills. Bev, who's been a lifelong resident of the Uralla Shire, has some great common sense tips for other people who are also renting.
Just adhere to whatever season it is. If it's summer, you try and make things cooler. If it's winter, you've got to make it warmer.
One of the things you can do as a renter is to make the most of sunshine. After all, it's free energy. So finding a warm, sunny spot in the winter to sit and read is a real bonus. And letting the sunshine into your house during the winter is great, because then you can set up your workstation or have your kids play in those rooms that are going to be the warmest. Then in the summer, it's really important to keep that hot summer sun out of those rooms. And you can do this by having really good blinds and curtains to block the sun. And these will be a great asset in winter too, because that's what's going to keep the warmth in during the night.
Well, then about 4 o'clock, I suppose, it starts to come in through that door and through that window there. If the sun's shining in, especially in that window, I leave the blind down, and it does keep it cooler.
So one of the things we've found from doing our home energy reviews with renters is some fantastic tips on how to keep your house comfortable and save money on electricity. Now, the very first thing to do is to replace all your lights with these highly efficient LEDs. So simply take out the ones that are there, the old bulbs, put them safely away in the cupboard, put your new lights in, and you'll start saving money immediately. And then when you move house, simply take them out and put the old ones back. So one of the scariest things for people is getting their winter power bills. And these little machines here are often the big culprit. They draw an enormous amount of electricity and they're really costly to run. And it can get away from you how long you're actually running these to keep your house warm. So you're far better off thinking of ways to warm yourself rather than warming your whole house if you're finding it a bit cold. One of the things you can do is rug up your house, and you can do that by taking these door snakes and putting them under every drafty door, whether it be an external door or an internal door. Really cut down on that cold air travelling around your house. The next thing you can do is actually rug your house up. Rugs on the floor are just more insulation that just stops that cold coming up through the floorboards, especially if you're in an old house where there's lots of drafty cracks in the floorboards. And another thing you can do is to rug up yourself. So rather than trying to heat the whole room, just heat the important part. And you can do that with some low technology, like the trusty hot water bottle. But my favourite is a throw rug. And I particularly love this one because you plug it in. It's like an electric hot blanket that you put over yourself. And it only draws 150 watts. So it's far cheaper to run than one of those really expensive heaters. And now Bev's going to tell us how she copes with those cold days.
Oh yes, I have bed socks. And yes, sometimes I use a hot water bottle if I, got anything niggly in the back or anything. I'll use a hot water bottle on the back.
So you've seen some great tips in the video on how to make your home more comfortable and save some money on power. But it's really important to go and have a chat to your real estate agent and landlord, because there could be some simple things and actions that could be taken to make your house more comfortable, like putting insulation in the ceiling. And if you've got a wood fire, it's really important that that's checked each year to make sure it's operating efficiently and is safe. After all, it's in the interest of the landlord to make sure they've got a happy tenant. A happy tenant will stay longer and will look after the home.
The sorts of things that I do advise tenants is the possibility of putting in new curtains, open the house in the evening so that the properties cool down.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to know more about anything that we've talked about in these short videos, please contact ZNet Uralla with the details below. And if you'd like to get involved, we'd welcome people who would like to come and volunteer their services to work with us.